Hello students, welcome back to your English class. In the previous video, I had started explaining the poem Television by Roald Dahl. In this video, I am going to complete explaining the poem and also I am going to talk about the poetic devices that I used in this poem. But before we begin, let us quickly recapitulate what we studied in the previous class. So the poem begins with the speaker asking the grown-ups not to allow children near the television set. He says it would be better if the grown-ups do not install a television set in their houses. He gives various instances to show the harm that is caused by watching television. He says that television rots imagination and creativity in children. He says that it makes them dull and lazy. It stops their powers of thinking. He says it rusts and freezes their powers of thinking, and the brain becomes dull and lifeless. So saying these, pointing out these harms that are caused by watching television, the speaker asks the grown-ups never to allow their children near the television set and not to install a television in their houses. So till this much we had studied in the previous class, and we had learned three new figures of speeches. One was simile, that is comparison. Another one was hyperbole, you remember, exaggeration, where the poet says that the children stare until their eyes pop out. So that was an exaggeration, a hyperbole. And you also learned about repetition, that is the repeated use of a word to stress upon a certain idea. And repetition was used when the poet says never, never, never. When he says that the children should not be allowed near the television set, he uses repetition as never, never, never. So these are the poetic devices that you learned, and this is the summary of what we did in the previous class. So now let us begin from where we had stopped.
All right, you'll cry. All right, you'll say. But if we take the set away, what shall we do to entertain our darling children? Please explain. So the speaker says that when he suggests that television set should not be installed or the children should not be allowed to watch television, then the parents will definitely ask this question that if they take the television set away, then what shall they do to keep their children entertained, to keep their children busy? So this is the question that every grown-up will have to the speaker, and they will say that of course we know, all right, we understand what you want to say, but if we take the set away, television set away, then how are we going to keep our children entertained and engaged? We'll answer this by asking you, what use the darling ones to do? How use they keep themselves contented before this monster was invented? Now to this, the poet says that this question we'll answer by asking you another question, and that is, what did the children do before television was invented? See here, television is referred to as monster because of the disastrous effect that it has on the children. Because of the harm that it causes to the children, the poet refers to the television as a monster. He says, how did the children keep themselves contented? Contented means satisfied. So he said that I will ask you another question, and that is, what did the children do to keep themselves busy before this monster was invented? They used to read. They'd read and read and read and read, and then proceed to read some more. Great Scott, gadzooks, one half their lives was reading books. And then the poet says, he gives the answer himself, and he says, those children of the past, they used to keep themselves happy, they used to keep themselves busy by reading and reading and reading and reading. And see here, again repetition is used. I told you about the poetic device repetition. Again here repetition is used, and the poet says they used to read, they would read and read and read and read, just to stress on the thought that the children kept themselves busy by reading books. Great Scott, Gadzooks, these are all exclamations, exclamations of amazement, exclamation of wonder. He said, why does he exclaim? He exclaims because he says half of the lives of these children were spent in reading books. Such wondrous, fine, fantastic tales of dragons, gypsies, queens, and whales, and treasure isles, and distant shores, where smugglers rowed with muffled oars, and pirates wearing purple pants, and sailing ships, and elephants. Oh, books! What books they used to know, those children living long ago. So the poet says that such wondrous means wonderful, fantastic. They used to know, these children living in the past, they used to know such wonderful, fantastic tales, fantastic stories of dragons, gypsies, queens, whales, treasure islands, distant shores, smugglers, pirates, ships, elephants. That is, they used to know of so many things about varied subjects. They used to know about dragons, gypsies. Gypsies are nomadic community. They are nomads who travel from one place to another and live by performing arts. They sing, dance, and they earn their livelihood by these performing arts. Of queens, whales, treasure islands, distant shores. Distant means far away. Distant shores means unknown lands or the faraway lands that are not yet known, where smugglers rowed with muffled oars. Muffled, the sound which is not clear or not audible. Why smugglers rowed with muffled oars? Because their sounds were not audible because of the sound made by water as they were in their ships. So the water made their sounds inaudible. Pirates wearing purple pants, and sailing ships and elephants. So all these the poet actually mentions in order to show that the children living in the past used to read books which covered so many subjects. That is, they had so much of knowledge about everything. Now see here, the figure of speech used here is an alliteration. Pirates wearing purple pants. This is a poetic device which is called alliteration. alliteration. Alliteration is what? Where a consonant sound is repeated, where the beginning consonant sound is repeated. Here you see these words, pirates, purple pants. They begin with P, which is a consonant, and the sound is repeated. The consonant sound here is repeated. Pirates, purple pants. So here another poetic device, that is alliteration, is used. And so the poet says that the children living in the past knew stories, fantastic stories, which were of so many wonderful things. Oh, books, what books they used to know. So he is exclaiming, what lovely books, what wonderful books these children used to know, they used to read. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away, and in its place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall. So then the poet begs to the grown-ups, to the parents, and says that we plead, we beg you, we pray, please go and throw your TV set away and replace it with a lovely bookshelf containing a large number of books. So you throw your television set, and in its place you can put up. In its place you can put up a lovely bookshelf with a large number of books. Fear not, because we promise you that in about a week or two of having nothing else to do, they'll now begin to feel the need of having something to read. And then the poet assures the grown-ups, assures the parents that you need not fear. Do not be afraid, because we promise you that in about just a week or two, the children will have nothing to do because the TV set is not there. They cannot watch television. So since they will not find anything else to engage themselves, they will begin to feel the need of having something to read, because there is only a bookshelf with so many wonderful books in it, and the children do not have anything to do. So they will start reading books. They will develop the habit of reading books. And once they start, oh boy, you watch the slowly growing joy that fills their hearts. They'll grow so keen, they'll wonder what they had ever seen in that ridiculous television set screen, and later each and every kid will love you more for what you did. And then the poet says, and once these children they start reading books, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy is again another exclamation of wonder, of amazement. So he says, once these children they start reading books, you will see how much they are enjoying. You'll watch the slowly growing joy that fills their heart. So you'll find the happiness that fills their hearts once they start reading books. They'll grow so keen. Keen means interested. The children will become so much interested in reading books that they will wonder what they had ever seen in that ridiculous television screen. Ridiculous is silly. So they will start wondering, why did they ever watch television, watch that silly thing that is television, because there is so much happiness in reading books. And later, each and every kid will love you more for what you did. And later on, each and every child will be grateful to you. They will love you more for gifting them this wonderful habit of reading. For developing in them this wonderful habit of reading, the children will be ever grateful to you. The children will love you.
So students, with that we have completed the poem Television, and that was the end of our first semester syllabus. I am sending an assignment with the question answers and reference to context. You will write those in your literature notebooks. Prepare well for your semester exam. Stay safe. Happy learning.